when our ladies in this country, when we are having the suffrage movement and the rallies and all the rights and the marches, last century or so, Muslim ladies in the 7th, 8th, 9th centuries, they were laying the foundations for hospitals and pharmacies and universities. So that's one of the reasons we are here, to dispel the misconceptions and to show that these are the realities what Islam teaches and preaches, coming from the Quran and the prophetic tradition. And here can be the culture. Let's not judge Islam by the realities of the culture, just like we don't want to judge. We don't want to judge the Bible based upon the realities of the American culture. The immorality, the porn industry and the Me Too movement, all of them, that's culture, that's not religion. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Sure, I could just
say Nadeem made me do it.
And
Why are you here? Nadeem made me do it.
My name is Sabil Ahmed. I'm here at the Muslim Association of Greater Rockford, and we have some special guests over here, and they came here because we are having a mosque open house for our neighbors, our friends, and our brothers and sisters and humanity. How did you hear about the open house, David?
So I am the state representative from the area. I know Mustafa. Mustafa is a great friend of mine.
And that's Mustafa.
No, that's Mustafa Abdul.
Nadeem Siddiqui.
Okay,
Yes, it's Nadeem. Yes, no, it's Nadeem. I just met him.
Everyone
he's
wearing face masks. It's hard to figure out.
It's hard.
So have you read the Quran any time? Because one of the gifts that we are giving is that for the sake of education, people may not have read the Quran or met Muslims or listened to presentation. They may have many misconceptions.
I've never read the Quran, so I'm just here to learn, and I think this is a great gift to open the doors here to let everybody in. I see there are people here from different faiths and people here from different communities, and it is just nice to see.
They're having some good lunch up
That's
there.
what they are. I know. I'm looking forward
Have you
to
guys eaten yet? Or
Not yet.
Not yet. Am I holding you back?
No. This is fine.
So, one of the reasons we are having the open house is because there may be misconceptions people may have, and those misconceptions kind of creates walls between communities and cultures and nationalities and faiths. And by meeting each other, smiling at each other, eating lunch together, those walls many times they move away, and then we can see the commonalities that we have. And based upon the commonalities, we want to work together to make better societies. Do you agree with that, Brother Ricardo?
I surely definitely do. I think that Christians and Muslims for centuries have built relationship from the Middle East to the European. We remember, we talk about history, the Crusades and all the relations regarding to that. But I think that we have so much commonality between Christians and Islam. Obviously, Islam talking about Jesus as a prophet. We see him not only as a prophet, but the difference between here, we believe he is the Son of God, right? But at the end of the day, we value some of the same pillars that you value about. We believe in one God. We profess that he is the only one. He is the creator of the universe. I mean, if we believe that and we believe in one God, I think that what makes us the common notion between Islam and Christianity, right?
Exactly.
That we just believe in the true universal God. And that is, even though we have differences, we have different backgrounds and different beliefs, but in the end, we value like Khadija, and we value Mary, the mother of Jesus. I mean, we have so much commonalities. As you believe Muhammad as being the prophet, we believe Jesus is the prophet. So we have big pillars. We have great pillars, and that's what makes us to have great relationship. And misinterpretations, I think that people just need to educate themselves, and I think this open house can bring that education to the community.
He can very well be
and Brother Jerry,
the next imam.
the next imam.
The next imam.
So Brother Jerry,
I can commit for Imam.
so David and Jerry and Brother Ricardo, you guys were looking at some of the women in Islam posters. The number one misconception people have about Islam is about women in Islam. Yes. So what can be like one misconception that you guys had before coming here that God clarified based upon our friend here and the posters and what you see here? What do you say, Brother Jerry?
I've done a lot of travel for my business and vacations. And this planet, there's a lot of diversity. So I personally, I like to educate myself. I've been here several times, and I keep coming. Yes, because not just because of the food. I just
Not because why do you have to say that? But because of food too.
the food is good. However, I like to learn. I have an open mind. I was brought up as Catholic, but I'm fully aware there are many other religions. But as Ricardo was saying, if you study this religion, there's a lot of commonality. Just that they were adopted by different nations, different civilizations. So I always like to learn, and I like diversity. I came here to educate myself. The misconception you asked about women in general, my personal observation have been to all religions have somehow consider women, at least the perception that I have of some of my friends and family, that women were always considered a little bit as followers instead of leaders in religions. But I think that is slowly changing. I've seen women more and more in the forefront, and maybe a lot of things are being clarified, because in my opinion, women are the same as men. Of course, in some religion, that's not very apparent.
So
Now,
that is
there
one
could be,
misconception.
there may be a misconception, they may be real, we don't know, but I'm always educating myself on what's real.
So when it comes to education, you guys would be surprised, and not you know this, you guys would be surprised to find out that the oldest continuous university in the whole world, according to Guinness Book of World Records, according to UNESCO, it was made by a Muslim girl wearing the hijab.
Was that right?
Yes, the oldest continuous, way before Harvard and Oxford and Penn State, any campus all over the world, it was a Muslim lady who laid the foundation of a campus that still exists in Morocco. And that's been labeled as the oldest continuous university in the world.
What's the name of it? You know?
It is called as the University of Qarawiyyin. It was made in the year 859.
Wow.
In the 859.
BC?
No, not BC. AD or C. Right?
It's like a hostel. I've been there.
Well,
It's like a hostel. Of course, some of our knowledge comes from watching TV, and of course, can you believe everything you see on TV? Right. So some of misconception could come from broadcasting or whatever.
So really quickly footnote, right, on just the topic. When our ladies in this country, we are having the suffrage movement and the rallies and all the rights and the marches, last century or so, Muslim ladies in the 7th, 8th, 9th centuries, they were laying the foundations for hospitals and pharmacies and universities with humongous rights that we had to, struggle hard for literally centuries to win. So that's one of the reasons we are here, to dispel the misconceptions and to show that these are the realities what Islam teaches and preaches, coming from the Quran and the prophetic tradition. And here can be the culture. Let's not judge Islam by the realities of the culture, just like we don't want to judge. We don't want to judge the Bible based upon the realities of the American culture. The immorality, the porn industry, and the Me Too movement, all of them, that's culture, that's not religion. Right? So in the same way, we want to teach what Islam is and what Islam is not. And then all of us, we are able to then figure out, wonderful, amazing commonalities, as Brother Ricardo mentioned. Work on the commonalities to make society a better society. So that's the whole intention of Islam and the Muslim community here. And the lunch is ready for you guys. All right.
Thank you very much.
And feel free to ask questions during the Q&A session too. All right.